All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is Elite Pierre. I am the CEO of E2P Media, and once again, I am your host of the E2P Media Business Talk Radio Show. Thank you again for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We're so grateful for your time and attention. Just want to let you know you can always subscribe if you're not already subscribed to our podcast to get all the content that we produce at e2pmedia.com/podcast. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Acast, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. You can find us on all the podcast platforms, ladies and gentlemen. Share with your friends, share with your loved ones. Anyone who's an entrepreneur, business owner, or an inspiring business owner, entrepreneur, they can definitely get value from our show. Today in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. Those of you who have been tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on the podcast, you know that we're running a contest for podcasting and distribution services. We're giving away 4 free slots for 2018 for 4 individuals who are ready to start a podcast and want to use our platform to kind of get their brand and get their message out to the world. So we're going to be sponsoring 4 individuals, 4 companies, ladies and gentlemen, this holiday season. So we're super excited. As of today, we have 21 competitors, 21 candidates that have filled out a form on our website. They shared their information with us. They shared their vision, their story, and what their show is going to be all about. So what we're doing is we're getting a few of the candidates into the studio, ladies and gentlemen, live and in living color and in living sound waves and voices, so they can share with you personally about what their show is going to be about, so you can hear it firsthand, so you're not just hearing it from me. Ladies and gentlemen, today in the studio, we have Mr. Chadwick Hawkins. He is the owner of Continuous Joy, right? And that's basically his brand that he's going to be promoting and building with the podcast that he's starting. Little background information on him, ladies and gentlemen. He's a teacher. He teaches here in Columbia, South Carolina, and he's been teaching for 18 years. In his 18 years, he's seen students who have done everything from committing murders to going to college and becoming legitimate contributors to society. In that time span, Chadwick has seen many students who reminded him of himself, right? He's always struggled with God and he wanted to find an understanding about why things happen and why things are the way they are. Over the past couple years, he started to become a strong believer in Christ and became unashamed to talk about Christ. Being that he teaches middle school, he wanted to reach out to that age group in some way, some form, some shape, or some fashion. So he decided to write a faith book called The Power of Friendship. Powerful, powerful piece, ladies and gentlemen. Just from the title right there, I haven't had the pleasure of reading that yet, but Chadwick is going to put me the plug so I can get that information, not just me, but to my school-age children, which details how with faith anyone can change. So it doesn't mean you because you are a certain way, because you came up a certain way, because you act a certain way, that you're stuck that way, ladies and gentlemen. Just hearing that message, I'm excited about what he has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to bring to the microphone Mr. Chadwick Hawkins. How you doing today?
Good afternoon, Elite Pierre. This is it's definitely a pleasure to be here, man.
I appreciate you taking the time out. When I got the message and said you'll be able to make it into the studio today, definitely got excited. I know everybody's not going to be able to make it, but for the ones who do take the time out of their busy schedule and make sure we fit this, because this is important. Face to face is important in my book. Get to know the energy and get to know who you're potentially going to be working with. So I appreciate you coming in.
I agree, man. It's definitely a pleasure, man. I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity. Glad to be here.
For sure. So tell us. I read your background about the information you shared with us as far as your story. But tell us your background. Tell us a little bit more story from your perspective.
Okay. Well, the story is mainly about a gentleman named Jameson. He's a young kid and he has a little brother named Terry, and and they have it's 2 other friends. One's friend's name is Rocky. The other friend's name is Winky, and the 3 of them actually are strong believers in Christ, and Jameson struggles with his faith. And, throughout the book, they actually have situations where, Jameson really has situations where, his faith is tested and he questions God. Why are you doing this? Why is this happening? But through a series of unfortunate events, he actually starts building his faith, and there's a surprise twist at the end.
Got you. Sounds interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to definitely. Where can they find that book at? I want y'all to go get the book if you're listening to this podcast.
They can find it on Facebook. I'm actually doing it through PayPal at this moment.
Okay.
I have it on Amazon, but it's not available on Amazon yet. But you can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on Instagram. I have my phone number or my email address. Everything is available, and once you reach out to me, I'll send you an invoice, or I can come to you and bring the books to you, especially if you're in the Greater Columbia area.
All right, that's Chadwick Hawkins, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely search him up, reach out. Let's support this brother, man. He's doing some things. This brother, man. It sounds like I'm talking about brother man from the 5th floor, right? Let's support this brother, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, not just the men, but ladies as well. Let's support this brother doing some amazing things. I mean, you got to give it up to the teachers, right? I mean, they do a thankless job. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Both of my parents were educators, and I'm actually one of the teachers that still enjoys teaching. I still enjoy educating. I still like building the rapport.
Okay.
Being able to joke with my students, and I still value the light bulb coming on. When I see that light bulb come on, and they finally understand something, and that's a great feeling.
Absolutely,
it's a great feeling. It's definitely a thankless job, but it's one of those jobs that you have to really care about kids to actually do.
You do. Yeah. I was an instructor for 3 years in the military. I taught Army leadership to new leaders, right? People who were soldiers who were either in new leadership positions or they were being prepared to step into leadership positions at the rank of sergeant or specialist looking to make sergeant soon. Okay. So, yeah, I got that experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want y'all to support this gentleman. He's definitely doing amazing things. He's actually one of our candidates for the podcast giveaway. So his podcast is going to be titled Continuous Joy Podcast. He has an amazing story. He has an amazing concept around the podcast. Tell us a little bit about what your podcast is going to be about.
There's so many things that go into, a teenage life: spirituality, school, dealing with parents. So I want to be able to be a voice for those things and how they intertwine, how religion could intertwine with school. I know it's hard for church and state to coexist. But being able to actually talk to those parents about how to reach their children through literature, through spirituality, those parents who have those questions, how to deal with your children as far as like a school setting, how to be able to talk to your children, listen to your children. I have a 3-year-old, and of course, he's growing.
Yep.
So to see him grow and to know what I'm trying to do with him, how I'm trying to raise him to be a strong African-American male. So just being able to answer questions and to have conversations about those things, how those things could intertwine with
Good
each
stuff.
other.
Good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, as y'all can hear, as you can see, this is definitely going to be a very impactful podcast. Why should we select your podcast? Because, again, we got 21 candidates. We got hundreds of people who want to start a podcast. We're looking to sponsor, only 4 of them. So if you share with us, share with the audience, what's going to be special about your message? What's going to be special about your show?
Just the content. This is not content that everyone talks about,
okay,
especially from the perspective of a teacher, and how religion could come into play with the student, an actual student, and with a parent. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm not sitting up here and saying that I'm an expert. It's something that I'm learning. I'm trying to gain traction with every day myself. But I want us to have the open conversations and how we can work with spirituality and how we can deal with, my platforms for my books and being able to touch people in a certain way. I want that to be the major issue, because I feel like right now it's not about me.
Yes.
It's definitely not about me. It's definitely about touching hearts and being able to help people on a widespread span, like in a net, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You heard it from him first, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chadwick Hawkins. You can actually go and vote for Mr. Chadwick. If you heard this content, if you believe in his vision, if you believe in what he's doing, if you go to P media.com/vote. You can go to the voting system, give him a vote, show him some love. Again, reach out to him, let him know that you definitely want to grab that book and that you will be subscribing to his podcast the minute it goes live. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Elite Pierre. I am the owner and founder of E2P Media right here in West Columbia, and I am your host of the E2P Media. I can't even say my own company name. I am your host of the E2P Media Business Talk Radio Show. Signing off, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share, like, share, follow, comment. Do all the stuff that you got to do to let people know about what we got going on over here. And we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good afternoon, my friends.